Hello, so hopefully everyone's all good. This is episode number 10, and today I just wanted to jump on here and kind of discuss the different ways that you can dominate Google, as you can see by the little slide I've created here. So quite often flooring companies and local businesses in general kind of miss this strategy. They'll tend to only focus on one particular aspect of Google, when there are actually three aspects of Google that you can focus on, and really, if you have the budget to do it, you should be doing all three. So I'll really quickly just kind of explain why, because if we was to search for any kind of keyword here, like let's say flooring company, and we'll just put something random, Liverpool, yeah. So flooring company Liverpool, and you can see if we look at the search results here, obviously you've got right at the top here the Google Ads, and then we scroll down a little bit more, we've got Google Maps or Google Business, whatever you want to call it, and then we scroll down a little bit more and you've got the organic listings. Now you can actually rank in all three of these areas simultaneously. You can be running ads for this keyword here, flooring company Liverpool. You can rank in Google Maps for this keyword here, flooring company Liverpool, and you can come up the top of the search results for flooring company Liverpool all at the same time. And when you do that, that is how you truly dominate Google. If you're here just once, then you're drastically cutting the chances of you actually getting found by people or being the choice of someone that's searching that keyword. For example, if you was to come up within the organic listings, but you weren't coming up here in the maps, and you wasn't coming up here on Google Ads, when someone searches for a keyword like this, the first thing they're presented is the ads, and Google is always going to try and push those ads as high as possible. It's going to try its best to make them not look like sponsored ads, because in Google's eyes, that's where it makes the most money. Out of us, out of consumers, out of marketers and things like that, and flooring companies, Google will make the most money out of the people that are spending ads with it. So these are always going to be at the top, and over the years, if you go back and look at how Google search results have changed, you'll notice that the ad section has got bigger and bigger, and the actual labeling of the ads has got more and more discreet. For example, in the past, I think I remember there used to be kind of like quite clear defined boxes at the top here, and it quite clearly said these are ads. But now, as you can see, obviously they all they do is they try and blend it into the search results as much as possible, and they'll just put like a little sponsored label here. And sorry, quite often you'll find that people won't even realise they've clicked on an ad. They'll just literally click on the first 1, 2 or 3 results there, and then go ahead and make their inquiry with the flooring companies that have come up. So yeah, over the years, the rest of the results here, the organic results, they've kind of been pushed down further and further down the page, and really all it's doing is it's making, for example, it used to be that if you ranked anywhere on the first page within the top 10, that you would be getting some good traffic from all of those spots. But these days, that's just not the case. It's almost to the point now where if you are in these kind of bottom of page 1 here, the bottom 10, these are the bottom 4 here of page 1, they're not going to be getting that much. They'll be getting the odd click here and there, but really it is going to be going to the top 3 organic. It's going to be going to the top 3 in Google Maps, and it's going to be going to the top 1 or 2 Google Ads. So like I say, Google Ads has kind of, it is becoming more and more important, and it is kind of one of those areas that you can't really ignore now for any kind of local business. Again, Google Maps has become more and more prominent over the years as well, and Google Maps for any local search is probably the most lucrative area, because just look at it. You've only got to look at this section of Google search results to see why this is going to generate the most inquiries and the most qualified inquiries, because you can see obviously like it's showing how many reviews you've got before someone even clicks on there. It's showing where their address is, it's showing the phone number, showing whether they're open, closed, their opening hours. It's giving you a snippet of a review, a good review, It's also, if you hover over that, it's pinpointing exactly where they are on the map, and this is the case for all three of these. So this section here, for any local business trying to, get any kind of local work, this is it. You want to be focusing on Google Maps above all else. And then Google Organic. Again, these top 3 spots here are really the only ones that you should be aiming for, because they are, again, the most lucrative. And the reason you want all 3 is because you just want to truly dominate Google. You want someone to type that in. You want someone to either notice or unconsciously notice your name at the top here. Scroll down a little bit further. Again, see your name there again with good reviews, hopefully, and a lot of good reviews. And then scroll down a little bit further and see your name again. And you may even find that some people will come onto the search results, and they might click someone up here on one of the ads and make an inquiry there. They might scroll down a little bit. They're likely going to potentially ignore Tappy and UK Foreign Direct and some of those kind of big companies, because they're probably not what they're looking for. Tappy arguably can be what they're looking for, but a lot of people do prefer smaller companies. So so they're potentially going to ignore a few of these companies here. They'll click on a local one on Google Ads. Then scroll down again. They might make another inquiry, but again, if your name's on there again, they might notice. They might notice on you again, you on there again. Sorry, with good reviews, and then they might also click someone down here. So they might get a few different kind of quotes. They might click on a few different websites, but if your website is on here 3 times, then you're truly going to be the one that is, dominating the search results. So that's why it's important that you are in all 3 of these spots for the local area, and it can be extremely lucrative for your business. So now, just kind of what I'm going to do is just kind of go through each one of these areas and briefly talk about the things that you can do to increase your visibility on them. So the first one is obviously Google Maps. Now, first thing that you need to be doing is category research. So you need to be making sure that your primary category is actually in line with all of your competitors. And you can see here really quickly, just by looking, flooring shop seems to be the one that is at the top for this particular keyword here. Now, you might want to try some other keywords. So for example, if I just hover over that again, another suggested one is vinyl flooring Liverpool. And you can see it's flooring shop again. It seems to be the one at the top. And strangely enough, it's only actually given us 2 results there. So perhaps it even kind of demonstrates the importance of the top 2 of Google Maps rather than the top 3. But if it's now, but the thing is with Google, it's always kind of testing things. Like one week you might find that this layout looks a little bit different. Another week you might see there's only 2 results here, then 3 results. Google is constantly kind of testing the search results to try and find out what is going to work best for certain keywords in certain areas. So even your actual rankings themselves, they shift up and down all the time. You might be, this company here might be number 1 right now at this time. So what we 9:15 at night in the UK. But come tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, you might find that they're in position 3. Google will shift these results around all the time. Like I say, depending on loads of different factors. The fact that I'm not in Liverpool could be also another reason why this company's here. If I search from Liverpool, you might find that another company is actually higher up. Again, it's exactly the same with Google Maps as well. It'll be shifting around all of the time at different times of the day. And I think I was watching an SEO podcast recently, and one of the people on there, they actually did a test where they was testing to see the Google Maps ranking shifting, and they was non-stop shifting throughout the day. So for example, the people that are in number 1, they dropped to like number 3, 4 or 5 at certain times of the day, and then they went back up again. And then also, like, looking at the different times that the different companies are open, I think Google looks at that and it shifts your rankings around depending on whether you're open or not, and all of that kind of stuff. So where was I? So category research. So you got to make sure that you're optimized for the primary category. And the primary category in this instance, without doing too much research, just looking at the few kind of top companies here, it's probably going to be flooring shop. So that's what your primary category should be, in relation to your competitors. You're not going to want to go pick something completely different to that, because if you do, then it's very unlikely you're going to be competing with these ones here, because flooring shop is the primary category that Google obviously wants to see for these types of keywords here. The other kind of categories that you want to be researching is secondary categories or subcategories. And what you want to be doing is, again, diving into maps a little bit more, and you want to be looking at what are the other kind of categories that are coming up here, and you want to be making a list of all of those categories, and you can add those as subcategories. So we're trying to cover all kind of different angles here. We're trying to make sure that we've got the right primary category, and then we're covering all of the right subcategories that are relevant to your business and your competitors and you. So that's category research. Next thing you want to be doing is doing a good description. So a good description is going to be taking into account all of the categories that you've just researched, and it's also going to be taking into account your keyword research. So you should have already done some keyword research to kind of establish what type of keywords people search for your products and services, and then you should also be taking into account the categories that you've just researched, and then also the products and services that you offer. And really all you need to do is kind of amalgamate all of those different keywords and categories and terms into one very short description that's going to be highly optimized for your business, making sure that you always start with your brand name, because again, your brand name is going to be the most important thing. It's going to be right at the top here, and it's also going to be right at the start of the description as well. Next up, we want business phone number. So a lot of flooring companies, you can see this one here, they're using the mobile number, but if you can, and you can, it doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to have an actual landline number, because there are actually services out there that will give you dedicated numbers for your areas. But obviously Google is going to understand the local number, the local dialing number. So you can see for the Liverpool area, it looks like 0151 is the local area code, and the local area code is also related to the area that you're in. So obviously it's not an absolute must-have, because this company here is using a mobile number and they're still number 2 on Google Maps. But you can see the two companies here, they are using a local number, and they're also the other two companies that are at the top of the search results. So getting a local number is going to help with local rankings. Then you want to be linking to your website from your Google business profile, which is pretty standard. Obviously, if you don't really want to, if you click on here, website, it should always be linked to your website. Next thing is social media profile. So Google, not long ago, probably about a year ago now actually, released the ability to link all of your social media profiles. I think before that it wouldn't actually give you the option to do it, it just did it for you if it found them, but now it actually gives you the option to link all of those different social media profiles on your actual profile. So look at all of the social media profiles that it's telling you you can add, and then make sure that you've created all of those social media profiles, and you've put on those social media profiles your company name, description if you can, and links to your websites and things like that. Obviously name, address and phone number as well, and then get all of those linked up to your Google business profile. Your business address, again, you do have the option to hide your business address, but I'm not sure why you'd want to do that as a flooring company, but unless you are someone that operates from your home. But again, I would probably say it's more beneficial to have your address actually showing if you can. But yeah, obviously if you've got a shop or something like that, then there's absolutely no reason not to show your address. Then you've got your service areas. So again, you want to be doing a bit of research into this. You want to be, I say research, you're going to know the areas that you cover, but you're going to want to make sure that you're covering all of the main areas in relation to where you're based. So start with where you're based, and then look at all of the different areas surrounding, and then look at the most important areas that you can add to your Google business profile. And I think you get roughly around 20 that you can add to it, so make sure that you've added all of those in. Bearing in mind, your Google business profile is only ever going to go so far. If you can imagine, like, your profile's here, and there's going to be an imaginary kind of circle around that, and it's only going to get so far before Google will not give you any more ground. You can only rank so far in Google Maps. If someone, if we zoom out on this map here, and someone's searching for Manchester, or flooring Manchester, there's no way in hell you're going to come up on Google Maps for flooring in Manchester when someone is searching in Manchester. If you're in Liverpool, you've only got a certain radius that you're going to be able to kind of maximise at. And at that point, when you can't go any further, that's when you should start potentially looking at trying to get another Google business profile in another location. And obviously the way Google have cracked down on the amount of people that actually can get Google business profiles now, I think the verification process is just ridiculous now. Even people with actual established locations, are struggling to get verified. But that would be the next step. If you really wanted to, for example, if you're in Liverpool and you wanted to expand into Manchester, you would need to get a Google business profile in this area. So whether it's a whether you've got like a lockup or something like that, or an actual shop. You know, there's a couple of ways around it, but you'd want to be making sure that you've actually got a profile there. That's the only way you can optimize in different locations. But obviously, if you're based in Liverpool, you can try and expand that as much as you can. With some of the strategies we're going to talk about in this video. Business hours, again, make sure you're filling everything out, just the standard hours. If there's any special hours, Christmas and all that kind of stuff, or if there's any certain days that you need to shut early or anything like that, just make sure it's all on there. The more you can put on there, the better. Now, reviews are like probably like the backlinks of your Google business profile. So one of the things that drives your website up in the search results in this part here is backlinks, which is a link from somebody else's site pointing to yours. Whereas for your Google business profile, the equivalent to that is essentially reviews, because reviews are like votes of confidence for your business. And the more people that are giving you reviews, genuine reviews, and by the way, Google is getting very clever at kind of detecting fake reviews now. And even some of I say clever, it's even gone the other way, where some like actual real reviews are getting rejected. So it's also stamping down a bit on fake reviews and reviews that don't quite look like they should be there. So anyway, the more reviews that you get, the more likely you are to rank your Google business profile, providing all of the other bits and pieces are in place, like here, and also you've optimized your website. But in theory, really, reviews are the things that are going to drive your Google business profile the most. And the way to do reviews is not getting reviews 100 reviews in one go. The way to do reviews is getting a consistent amount of reviews every single month, every single week, just week after week, month after month, year after year, and just consistently get those reviews. Your review should look like how your business operates. So if you're a flooring company that goes out and does 4 or 5 jobs a week or whatever it is, then your review should be reflecting that process. Your reviews should be consistent in line with your work. Like if you're going out doing 3 or 4 or 5 jobs a week, then you should be, on average, you should be getting at least 2 reviews per week if you're doing a good job. So if you're suddenly getting 50 reviews in one go, and then you don't get anything for another 6 months, that doesn't look right, and that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you as much as if you was to be getting 2 or 3 reviews per week consistently for months and years and years. So that's the way to do reviews. And obviously make sure that you're replying to them and you've got keywords in the review, so getting people to actually write about the product and service that you sold to them, and then again reply to them with the keywords as well. Then we got appointment links, so just link, when it asks for the appointment link, just link that to your contact page. The other thing that we got is questions and answers. So a little bit that is quite underutilized, I often find, is if you click on someone's profile here, and where is it? Ask a question. You can see this profile hasn't got it, but you can see you can come on here and you can ask questions about your products and services and your business to yourself. So you can come on here and you can say, what is the price to fit flooring? Obviously, it's a very broad question, but you could come back with a very broad answer. What are your opening hours? Again, you can come in here and you can answer that. What are the different products and services that you offer? What are the locations that you cover? And again, your questions and answers section is another area that you can use to get more keywords into your profile and make it more relevant to the products and services in the locations that you operate in. So after we got reviews, we've got logo and cover photos. So make sure that you've got a decent cover photo for your Google business profile, and make sure that you're getting some good quality images on there on a regular basis. Now, a little tip with images: if you're out on a job, let's say that you're in Liverpool and you've got a job somewhere over here. Let's say you've got a job in Sutton here, and you're based in, let's just say you're based in the centre of Liverpool, but you've got a job in Sutton. And when you go over to Sutton, make sure that you take a picture and a video of your work and then upload it there and then on site. Because when you take a photo, there's data attached to that photo. Google can see where, it's got all the information about where you are, your coordinates, the time, all of that kind of stuff. And if you take a photo on site and then you upload it to your Google business profile while you're on site, that's just more information that Google can take on board, and it can see that you're in that location doing the work that you say you do. So it's going to help with trying to expand your Google Business Profile out further. And then also with videos, like you can add 30-second videos to your Google Business Profile. So if you're out on site, then just record a quick 30-second video, just panning around on the job, and then just upload that. You don't have to speak on it or anything, but again, it's more information that you can add to your Google Business Profile, and Google can obviously see all of that information about your profile and about your where you're working, and the details about the picture. So that's just a little tip there with adding photos and stuff like that. And then we got Google Post. So you want to be making sure that you're adding posts on a regular basis. Again, it doesn't look like this profile is, but you can add posts similar to how you add posts to your social media, and you can just basically just go through your site and kind of repurpose all of the content. So all of the different services that you offer, your contact details, your about us, location pages, anything that's on your site that you think you can repurpose, and then make sure that you're linking those posts from your post to the site, so we can kind of build that connection from your Google Business Profile to your website. And then we've got products and services. So similar to post, but it is actually, they've actually done it here. So products, and you can see that you can basically add all of the different products and services that you add here. And again, you can write a small description, you can make it keyword rich, you can optimize it, and then you can link from this product to the corresponding page on your website. And again, you're building the bridges between your Google Business Profile and your website. And then lastly, citations. So basically, you want to be going out there and building citations on places like directories that cite your name, address, and phone number. And it should be matching the name, address, and phone number that is on your Google Business Profile. So what you're trying to do is you're just trying to kind of show Google that you are a real business, and and you're trying to confirm these are the details, these are the correct details, by placing your name, address, and phone number on these different websites around the web. So the kind of websites I'm talking about are things like Yelp, what else is there? There's like construction.co.uk for the UK. If you just type in local business directory, you're going to see loads of them come up here. Obviously, I'm based in Kent, so I'm going to get things like the Kent Online, but there's going to be ones that are kind of nearby your area, wherever you are. So you want to get all of the local ones on there, and you also want to get all of the main ones, and then you want to get anything that's related to the flooring industry specifically. So yeah, and then another thing that you want to do is to be able to build up, to be able to understand the actual citations that you need, is look at the citations that your competitors have got. So you can use tools like one of the tools I use is SE Ranking. So you can use tools like this, and I think they do probably have a free plan, but even if you did this briefly, just paid for 1 month or something like that, just to kind of get this initial optimization out of the way. But you can use this kind of software here to research your competitors and look at the kind of citations they've got, and then go out and build them yourself. Because in theory, if we go back to the results here, these companies here that are ranking on the top of the search results, they're ranking for a reason, because they've done something right within that area for those keywords here. So the best way and the quickest way to get to the top of the search results is look at your competitors and look at what they've done right, and then mimic that, and obviously then take it a little step further and try and do it better than them. But that's the first step, is just researching the kind of citations they've got, and then making a list of those, and then going out and actually getting your site added to those as well. So they're kind of the key things that I would say you need to do to optimize your Google Business Profile. There are just 100 other things that you can do as well. Some straightforward, some not so straightforward, some kind of what you call white hat, some black hat. There's all sorts of things that people do to the Google Business Profile to get them higher up the search results, but these are the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are the things that you should be focused on first before you start doing all of these kind of little bits and pieces, these little tweaks that some people may or may not be doing. And it's obviously down to you to kind of research those different techniques and stuff like that. I can go over a few of them in some later kind of episodes, but there's so many different things that you can potentially do. to your Google business profile that might give you that little extra kind of you know, that extra nudge over your competitors. But like I say, the main thing is getting the fundamentals in place, which is just optimizing your Google business profile for all of these standard areas here. Okay, so now we move on to the Google Organic. So Google Organic, again, there are hundreds of things that you can do to optimize your Google business profile, but I've just kind of put the main categories down really. So the first thing is when you're optimizing your website, you want to be making sure that you've got all of your target services and locations on your site. So you need to be creating separate pages for the service in the location that you're trying to target. And generally, the way I would start with this is a flooring company, they can offer tons and tons of different types of flooring. You know, like, for example, we go onto this company here, it looks like an e-commerce store, so they're not actually a local business, but I mean, Mersey Flooring obviously is local, but they looks like they kind of focus more online stuff. But just looking at all of the different types of flooring here, laminate, waterproof, vinyl, LVT, SPC, you've got LVP as well, tile effect, herringbone, engineered, you know, some on it, some aren't even on it, like carpet and things like that. And there are just literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of different types of flooring that you can rank for. But generally, what you want to be doing is kind of creating the initial page, which is flooring in location, and that flooring page should then cover all of the different types of flooring that you offer within that location. So to give you an example, I've used this before, my dummy site that I built. And then if we go down to, where is it? Locations. To give you an example, you would target the main keyword in the main location. And then what you'd do is you would, in these heading 2s here, you would then list all of the different types of flooring that you offer within this location. And the idea is that you're trying to rank this one page for all of the other different types of flooring within this location here. And then when it gets to a point where you think, you know, we can't possibly rank, you know, we've been at this for a year, maybe 2 years, and you feel like this page has kind of hit its kind of potential. There's not many other keywords that you can kind of get higher up in the search results without going out and then creating another page for those specific types of flooring. So for example, on this Flooring London page, you might target vinyl flooring, LVT flooring, wood flooring, carpet, laminate, and you will find that you will start ranking for all of those different types of keywords. But there might be one or two keywords that you just cannot get to the top of the search results. For example, this page might rank really well for like LVT and vinyl, but then when it comes to wood flooring, you might find, you know, a year down the line or 2 years down the line that this page just will not rank for wood flooring in London. And it's at that point, or, you know, when you're absolutely certain that you cannot rank this page for those terms, that you would then go out and you would create the wood flooring London page. And then what you can do is you can start creating specific content around wood flooring London, and then you can start building backlinks to that page and things like that with, you know, with the relevant keywords, and you can try and really start targeting that particular keyword in that particular location. But initially, you want to try and get as much traction as possible with the broadest type of keyword, you know, flooring London, because what you don't want to be doing is clogging up your website with hundreds and hundreds of service in location pages. It is the most spammy tactic that SEOs still use. You will find there's still a lot of websites out there where people will create a page for absolutely every single product and service they offer in absolutely every single location that they operate in. And really, you want to be less is more now. You want to be trying to create the best quality page that covers the most amount of services and keywords before you start creating more and more pages. You know, London's a very broad area, so there's a lot of different boroughs in London that you could target. You know, for example, like Liverpool, you might create flooring Liverpool, and that would then encompass all of the other areas within Liverpool. You could put all of your different locations that you're targeting within Liverpool on this page. And then, you know, there's, like I say, down the line, you're then going to be able to look at this page and you're going to be able to see providing you're tracking these different keywords, you're going to be able to see what keywords are ranking and what keywords aren't ranking, and what keywords need their own pages and what keywords don't need their own pages. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to minimize building just tons and tons of pages, all of the same types of content, and just completely destroying your website with just a shitload of crappy content, really. And what you're trying to do instead is trying to build, the best quality content, and then build out from there. So you're not doing it in one go. You're building one page. You're looking at the data. You're looking at what you are and aren't ranking for. You're trying to optimize more and more and more to try and get those pages to rank for those keywords. And if they don't, that's when you then have to kind of make the decision whether you're actually going to go and create a separate page for that location and that service. But like I say, it's all down to the data. You don't just go bulldozing in there and start creating hundreds of pages, because it will not work these days. There is too much content on the internet, and there's too much content is too easy to create these days, and the pages are too easy to create, websites are too easy to create, and there's just a surplus of information on the internet, and just going out there creating hundreds of pages is not the thing to do now. You need to be creating the best quality pages as opposed to the most amount of pages. At one time it did work, but now it doesn't work so well. So that's the main thing really with your target pages. And then what you want to do, again, following on from the same thing that I was just talking about really, is you want to go through your website and improve your content. The amount of websites I go on and the content is just horrendous. I'm talking like no structure to the page. They don't even know what an H1 or H2 is. They don't know what H3 is. There's no internal linking. There's no, fault for, the actual order of the content. All sorts of things. I could talk about hundreds of different things to improve content. But basically you just want to be going through your website and looking at the content you've got at the moment, and then trying to get that page to the best it can possibly be. And again, you don't have to do this all in one go. Like your website, whether it's been built a year ago, 10 years ago, there's going to be pages on it that aren't necessarily that great, and you just want to be going through those pages one by one, week by week, month by month, and improving those. And over time, you're trying to kind of raise the overall quality score of your website. Google does this thing now where it does crawled, not indexed. So basically what it's done is it's come through your website, it's come through this page, for example, and it's crawled it, it's scanned through it like this, it's looking at all the content, and then by the time it gets to the bottom of it, or by the time it's finished with this page, it then decides, is it going to index it or not? Is it going to put it within Google search results, or is it not going to do that at all? And a lot of pages these days, they go into crawled, not indexed. Google's seen it, it thinks the content is not good enough quality to go onto the search results, and therefore they're not going to put it in the search results. It's just going to be that page that Google knows it's there, but it doesn't want to put it on the search results. So that is why it's important to go through all of these different pages on your website and make sure that the content is good enough. Make sure that the structure is correct. The structure is probably one of the biggest things. If you can just put the right keywords in the right headings and label the right headings correctly, for example, your H1s, H2s and H3s, that is going to be a lot of the time enough to be able to get Google to see that it's a quality page, because you understand how a page should be built. You understand how the information should be presented to the people that land on that page. And then after you've structured the page, you're looking at the different at the content that's actually written. Is it full of fluff? Is it just stuff with keywords? Does it actually give value to the reader and things like that? There's all sorts of things that you should be looking at. And then look at the features on your page. These make a big difference. Images make a huge difference to a page. Like if you're targeting Liverpool or London, make sure there's a picture of Liverpool or London in the background on the header. And it's not just the images, but it's the order of the images as well. This image is an image of London, obviously. The actual name of this image is London, or Floor in London. The meta description for this image is Floor in London. And then it's got landmarks that are recognisable for London, like the gherkin there, and the cheese grater. And Google has seen the gherkin and the cheese grater a million times before, so it understands what they look like. And it's the same with any other area. Just look at, go onto a Google search, type in the area you're trying to target. So for example, Liverpool, obviously the football team is going to be the one thing that dominates here. But if you go into images, then you go to tools, and then you go to usage rights, and you go to Creative Commons licenses, These are all the images that you're allowed to use for free without actually having to have a buy them off of places like Shutterstock or stock websites or anything like that. These can be used on your website. They've got the license is the Creative Commons license, so it allows you to use these on your website. Some of them might require that you kind of link back to them or whatever it is, or you cite them within the information of the image, but these are images that you can use. And for Liverpool, look for a landmark in Liverpool. It could be this one here, the Port of Liverpool. That building there, Google has probably seen that a million times before, and it understands what that building is. It understands the location, and use an image like that to show this page is about Liverpool, or whatever area it is that you're trying to optimize for. And even if they are smaller areas, you can still find images related to that area. And whether Google understands those smaller areas or not, I'm not sure, but you're better having those images there. Even from a conversion perspective, if someone lands on your website and they're looking for flooring in Liverpool and they see a landmark from Liverpool, they're going to know that they're on the right page before they've even read the content. So the images make a massive difference. And then also unique images. A lot of people will just go on to places like Shutterstock. So this is obviously a paid one, but there's millions of images on websites like this. But the problem with these images is anyone can, there are so many people using these images, and the amount of times I've been onto different flooring websites and I've seen the same flooring image again and again and again, it's just unnecessary these days. For starters, a flooring company, if you're a busy flooring company, you should have hundreds and hundreds of pictures of your work. You should be taking pictures on a weekly basis, and get yourself a decent camera as well, because sometimes phone images, they're not always that great. But I think it actually depends on the photographer, to be honest, more than anything else. But just get a decent camera, whether it be a decent iPhone, whether it be a decent smartphone, or whatever it is, or just a kind of actual decent physical camera that you can put in the van or whatever it is. But the other thing is AI images are now very good, and you could, like, for example, what's the AI one that I've been? So just type in AI image generator on Google, and you're going to find loads and loads of different websites that do this now. The one I've been using, I've literally gone completely blank. I can't think of the name. Let me think about that and come back to it. So anyway, but I was going to give you a demonstration, but I can't think of the name of the bloody bit of software that I've been using. But they're so cheap. Like, they're so much cheaper than places like Shutterstock. And the quality of the images now, you can almost create images that look, 99% real. And when you're thinking about a page like this, if you're trying to get a picture of wood flooring, you want a unique picture of wood flooring that nobody else has ever used across the web, because that's going to improve the content of your page. AI images are so easy to do now. You can create a picture like that, and it could look exactly like that, and no one would ever know whether that's an AI image or not. And it's perfect for just putting quality images on your site, or unique images that have never been seen before. And that's a way of improving the quality score of your website, is getting unique images. Now, obviously, like I was saying, every flooring company should have hundreds of different images, but if you don't, or if you just want to get a picture of wood flooring up close, or you want to get a picture of someone's hands fitting it, or whatever it is, the type of images that you don't necessarily have, then it's very easy to do with an AI image generator. That's annoying me. I can't think of what it's called. Let me just look quickly. Midjourney. So if you go onto Midjourney here, and you go on to explore, you can see these are all the images that people have created with Midjourney. And if we go, I think the account is like the lowest account, which is all I've got at the moment, is the about £7 a month, $7 a month. You go to create here, and then the best thing to do, and I was just messing around a bit earlier, but the best thing to do is if you go to ChatGPT, and then you write in here, create me a AI, create me an AI image prompt for wood flooring up close. You need to put in a written prompt actually, because otherwise ChatGPT actually starts generating images now, but they're not anywhere near as good. See, it's doing it now. That's not what I wanted. But these images are nowhere near as good as something like Midjourney. So let me finish with that. I mean, yeah, you can tell that's AI because that's not realistic, that edge in there. But I'm not sure if there's a way of disabling that, but so yeah, now this is what you want. You want it to write you a prompt like this, and then all you need to do is obviously read through that prompt, make sure it's what you're looking for. But go on to here, go on to something like Midjourney, and then what you can also do is if you go onto Google Images and you put in wood flooring, and then you go here and you look at an image that you like the look of. So let's say like this one here, and then you save that image. Just save it as whatever, and then you go on to Midjourney here, and then you click this little icon here, and then you choose file. Oh no, that's not saved it correctly. Let's go back again. Oh, it's because I saved the link. But anyway, let's just do this one. So that one there. Go on to Midjourney. Click here. Upload the image. Let me just drag it across instead. Right, so now drag that across like that. And then drop that one there. And then you can see you've got different prompts here. You can see you've got, if you hover over that, it says as a character reference, as style reference, and then as an image prompt. And if you hold shift and you click, we're not going to want character reference, but we're going to want style reference. And then we press paste, enter. And then we go to, oh no, so you can see that it's running now, so it's at 10%. So wait for that to work. This will only take like a few minutes, not even minutes, seconds in fact. And then what it does, it will generate 4 different versions for you, and then you pick the best version, and then you can kind of develop that version even further if you needed to. But you'll see, hopefully, anyway, this better be a good demonstration. Otherwise, you see, once it's done, it will generate some good quality images. So yeah, that's nearly done. You can see it's at 96, 100%. So now we click on that. It kind of looks, I mean, it does look AI generated, but that is still good enough just to put on a page, to put like that there. You probably, it looks a little bit too like almost too perfect kind of thing. But like that bit there, you can see like the grain and stuff like that. You can see like these chairs here, these cushions, the plug sockets look a bit weird, but again, is anyone ever going to look at that closely? Like that one there, little fireplace in it, cushions. Like, you could get away with that. You could put that on your website on a page like this, just because you need a picture of wood flooring, and you want to put a little bit more imagery on there. You want to break up some of the text or whatever it is. You can easily create these images and get them onto your website. There's no excuse to have the same images as anyone else now, because websites like this, software like this, create images that are so good that you've got an endless supply of completely original content that can be used on your website or throughout your website where needed. Obviously, your own pictures of your own work are the best possible things, but if you did need a picture quickly and you didn't have the right kind of angle, you didn't have the right kind of look or feel, whatever it was, you could easily generate it on software like this. And you compare that to Chat. Oh, it's gone now. But the other one that we saw a minute ago, actually, I think you can go back to it. Yeah, like it's just not there. Like ChatGPT, what's all this about? Like, it's laying it up over the top of that one there. It just doesn't look right. And if you compare these, this is a paid bit of software, and this is free, so you can really see the difference. So you know, it is definitely worth like $7.99 a month, whatever it was, probably like £5 in pounds, but they're definitely worth their money. And even if you just did this for a month and built up a library of different images you could use across your website, then you don't need to use it again. And you know, one credit it gets you so many images. So yeah, there's no excuse for not having unique content, and that is the way that you kind of improve your content. I'm going to kind of whiz through this because I think this is taking a little longer than I thought, but improve structure. So again, internal linking, make sure you're linking to all of the different pages. For example, if you built another page that was service in, like for example, wood flooring in London, and this is the flooring London page, then you're going to want to link from this page to that page. It just makes sense. All of your navigation at the top here, making sure you got all of your services and the main, all of your main pages at the top, and then you go to the bottom, you want to make sure you got all of the main links to your main pages at the bottom here. And again, you should just be making sure that there's lots of different links throughout your pages that are linking to all relevant content, and just making it so much easier for people to navigate it, including obviously Google. Technical SEO. So again, not going to go too much into that, but you just want to kind of find an auditing tool. There are hundreds of auditing tools out there. SEMrush, SE Ranking. You know, I've got one that's kind of specifically just for technical SEO. You've got Screaming Frog. That's one of the biggest ones, but they all do their free versions, and what you'll find is a lot of flooring companies, local flooring companies, their sites are not very big. You don't have many pages, and these free tools are actually going to, you know, help you kind of reveal things that are wrong with your site. Now, the main thing with technical SEO is not to kind of follow absolutely every kind of recommendation that's given to you, because you might waste months going, you know, fixing every single possible thing that's wrong with your site, and it might not help actually move the needle that much, because content and structure are the main things. But the technical SEO, it is one of those things that can kind of help you get past your competitors if there's, you know, if you're just finding that you're struggling with like a particular keyword or something like that. But yeah, technical SEO definitely obviously worth doing like an audit on your site and making sure that there's nothing major wrong with it. Like, you know, for example, it happens so many times, you know, within like the web design industry, where people will build pages, and then when you're building a website, or you're building a page, then you basically set this to no index, no follow, no index. So basically it means that when Google crawls this site, it sees the no index, and it will just skip past this. It might crawl it, but then it might not index it, because you've got that tag on it. And sometimes when you launch new sites and stuff like that, the web designers, the developers, they accidentally leave these tags on there, and the business owner doesn't have a clue they're on there. You know, they could be on there for years, and this page could never be indexed because it's got the no index tag on it. And yeah, and then, you know, you might get an SEO come along and they're trying to rank a page, and even they don't notice straight away. So if you was to do like a technical report, it would just kind of highlight anything like that. If there are any pages that are set to no index, you just want to make sure that those are supposed to be no index and they're not your like kind of main pages. Something else is schema. So again, it is kind of technical SEO, but behind every page is code. You know, if we right click this and we inspect this page, you can see here this is all the code. In fact, if we view the source context, page source, sorry, that's the better way to do it, but you can see this is all of the coding that makes up the page, and on here is something called schema, which is this bit here. Now this schema here has only been done by a very basic plugin called SEO Yoast, and most companies have Yoast or an equivalent plugin installed, and they will do schema automatically as part of their kind of their plugin. But the schema is very, very basic. This is not going to be the schema that helps you get to the top of the search results, because if all it takes to create this schema here is to put a plugin onto your website and press go, every other company around the country and world can do exactly the same thing in exactly the same amount of time. So this does not give you the edge over your competitors. When I'm talking about schema, I'm talking about writing detailed schema for every single page. Schema is an extension of the content that's on your page here. All of this information here is going to be about your products and services, and you know, the areas you serve and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be highly optimized for the keywords that you're trying to target. Schema can do exactly the same thing. If you write schema properly and you implement it properly for this particular page and all the other pages, you know, and site wide really, you can create schema that will, you know, it will make all of this redundant, because this schema is just so basic and crap. Basically, it's kind of almost no point in even using it. Whereas if you actually take a bit of time to create schema for each page, then you're going to be able to, you know, that's what's going to give you the edge over your competitors when you're trying to get, you know, you might find that you get to position 3 and you want to get to position 1. It might be the schema that gets you to position 1. Then we got conversion optimization. So just go through your site. because if you do all of this stuff and you do start ranking and people do land on your site and they're not actually converting, then you need to be looking at why they're not converting. And there's just a few simple things you can do. For example, like the buttons. So many people will have a button the same color as all of the other elements on their site. For example, let's say, look, your colors are like red. Then I've seen people have red buttons. It just doesn't make any sense. You would have the button that you want people to press, and the actions that you want them to take. They need to be big and bold. They need to be completely different from any other piece of content on your website. There's no other green on this site apart from the buttons that I want people to use to contact us. So you need to find a color, that is going to be bright and it's going to entice people to click, and they cannot miss it. As your kind of call to actions and things like that. You want to be making sure that you've got all of the contact details, or the the details that you need people to contact you on. Every single page that you think someone could convert on, those details need to be on there. Even maps, these are going to help with conversion optimization, because again, if you're in London, then you're going to want a map of London, because then again, it's just that thing of people seeing London, and then there's London landmark, and then there's a map with London on it. It's all of that stuff they're kind of adding up and just making sure that you're the right company before they go ahead and make their decisions. Building backlinks. So you need to build links from other people's websites and point them back to yours. You basically need to find other kind of home improvement sites, building sites, other flooring companies or flooring websites, flooring bloggers, whatever it is, anything that you can think that relates to your industry. You need to be finding those websites, and you need to be reaching out to them and trying to get placements on their website, or then point back to your site. And if you're trying to target a keyword, for example, like flooring company Liverpool, then that is the anchor text that you need to be using from that other website that points back to yours, because Google will see that anchor text and it will follow that anchor text through to the relevant page, which you should be linking back to your flooring company Liverpool page. And then it's going to help with ranking particular keywords. So again, if you find that you get to the top of the search results, you're position 5, 3, or 4, whatever it is, and you're trying to get to the top 2 positions, then it could be that you need to build more backlinks to that particular page, with the anchor text being the keywords that you want to target. Lastly, we've got running press releases. So press releases are an easy way to kind of get the referring domains up on your website, on your page. So for example, one of the things that you want to do is do a bit of competitor research. So, again, flooring company Liverpool. And if we look down here, the search results, these are the top 3 here. You want to look at these 3 websites here, and you want to look at how many backlinks are pointing back to this specific page here, which looks like the home page. Again, all 3 of these are home pages, but how many backlinks are pointing back to each one of these pages? And if you're sitting here in position 4 or 5 or 6, and you're trying to get to these positions here, but then you see that they've got, that this page here has got 25 backlinks pointing to it, and your page here has only got 10 or 5 backlinks pointing to it, then you need to be increasing the amount of backlinks that are pointing to this page here to get somewhere in the region of what they've got there to actually start competing for those top spots. So again, it's about doing a bit of competitor research and making sure that you're dedicating the right resources to the right things to obviously rank for the right keywords. Okay, so the last way to dominate Google is going to be Google Ads. And Google Ads is kind of a little bit more simple, but at the same time, there is a lot of things that you kind of need to take into account. So the first thing you need to do is making sure that, again, same as your website, you're going to want to make sure that you're targeting all of the different products and services within the different locations. You're going to want to split all of those up again. Like you would do with your website, where you would build like a flooring in London page, you would be building a flooring in London landing page for Google Ads. You wouldn't be using this page from your website, because this page here has got way too much content on it to be running Google Ads to. If you run Google Ads to this page here, which is optimized for SEO, there's too much content on it. People are going to look at this and they're going to click off because there's just too much going on. Google Ads pages are different from your website pages. They are much different. You should never use your main website as a landing page from your Google Ads campaign. You need to be building simple, highly converting landing pages for the products and services within the specific locations. So for example, if you wanted to target flooring company Liverpool on Google Ads, you would create a Flooring Liverpool landing page just for Google Ads, and you would create a Flooring Company Liverpool ad group which only has Flooring Liverpool type keywords inside that ad group. And the reason being is because if you created a ad group which was for Flooring Liverpool, and in that ad group was keywords that were like Flooring Liverpool, Flooring Company Liverpool, Flooring Services Liverpool, Flooring Installers Liverpool, Flooring Fitters Liverpool, all of those keywords there, and then someone landed on a page that said Flooring Liverpool, Flooring Installers Liverpool, Flooring Suppliers Liverpool, Flooring Installation Liverpool, click now, get a quote now, you know, whatever it is, fill out this form, whatever it is you want them to do, then basically you're typing in the keyword that you're typing in the keyword that, you know, the customer, is typing in the keyword that is going to help them find the right company for them. They're then seeing at the top here, this is the ad that relates to this keyword or a variation of this keyword. They're clicking on this ad, and then they're seeing that that page is highly related to this particular keyword here. Then it's all adding up. This keyword here matches this ad here, and this keyword also matches this ad and the landing page, and that is how you're going to get people to actually convert from Google Ads. So let's say that you create a Flooring Company Liverpool ad group. You then might want to target Manchester. So now you want to be creating a Flooring Manchester ad group, because then someone, and again, like looking at these websites here, these are big companies, some of these. If a local company was to actually bid on these keywords for Flooring Company Manchester, there's no one here that has actually built a page specifically for Flooring Manchester. So you can see, and obviously it might just be the time of evening, you know, not many people are going to be searching for flooring at 10 o'clock at night, but you might find that this is different throughout the day. But at the moment, just glancing at it, you can see there's opportunity here to build a much better ad than any of these companies here. Now, obviously, like I say, these are big companies and they're just running ads for brand awareness more than anything, I would say. But as a local company, there's a way in. There's a way that you can outrank these companies here and start taking some of those potential leads. If you scroll to the bottom, there might be some other ones that are more. No, there's still nothing that actually matches this keyword here. So, you know, there's a lot of companies, big and small, that still don't do this. So, yeah, you want to be creating separate landing pages. You want to be creating separate ad groups, and you want to be creating, you know, making sure that these landing pages are highly targeted to the keywords that you're targeting. And then something else you might want to be doing is separate campaigns, and it all really depends on budget, but there's only so many ads that you can create within an ad group before you kind of you know, before you kind of overdo it, in a way. If you've got a smaller ad, if you've got if there's only so many ad groups you can create within a campaign before there's too many ad groups within one campaign. And you kind of want to think of campaigns as like themes, or you could do it as areas. So, for example, one campaign could be Manchester, another campaign could be Liverpool. Within those campaigns could be ad groups about all of the different types of flooring within Liverpool and within Manchester. Another way of doing it would be to do it by service. So, for example, one campaign might be for vinyl flooring, another campaign might be for laminate flooring, another campaign might be for wood flooring, and in each of those campaigns would be ad groups that relate to those different services. So the wood flooring campaign might just be about wood flooring in the different locations. The vinyl flooring campaign might be about vinyl flooring within those within locations for that. But really, whether you build more than one campaign is kind of down to your budget, because if you're not spending enough, so for example, if you're spending £20 a day on Google Ads, then you're not really going to have enough budget to be building separate campaigns, because basically your ad group here is going to be, you're not going to have enough money to spend in that ad group to get enough data back to be able to bid for certain keywords and things like that. Whereas if you had a higher budget, let's say you were spending like £50 a day, then you could do £25 a day in one campaign and £25 a day in another campaign. And you could say, you could split those two campaigns into two separate areas. Let's say one could be Liverpool, one could be Manchester. And basically if you've got 2 separate campaigns that are targeting 2 different areas, that's going to be more efficient than having one campaign that's targeting multiple areas and multiple different services. So this is kind of tricky to explain, but you kind of want to be thinking about what's best for your budget and your strategy. But obviously the higher budgets allow you to have more campaigns and more targeted campaigns. The lower budgets kind of restrict you to kind of like one campaign and just lots of ad groups within that one campaign. So, it's kind of hard to explain without showing you. I'll have to create like a dummy Google Ads account and show you kind of what I mean, like, on screen. But one of the main things that you want to be doing with Google Ads is gathering data. So you want to be running your Google Ads, and initially you want to be running to try and get as many clicks as possible. And really, the reason you want to be running to get as many clicks as possible is because you want as many Google to pick you up and rank you for as many keywords as possible relating to obviously the keywords that you're trying to target. And every single week you should be going into, in the early stages anyway, you should be going into your Google Ads campaign and you should be looking at the data that's being gathered. You should be looking at all of the different stats, the click-through rates and the the conversion rates, all that sort of stuff. Look at the different ads that are performing better than others. Look at the the way why they're performing better than others, and just kind of tweaking things. But one of the main things is taking out is adding kind of negative keywords. So if you see that you're getting clicks and it's wasting money for keywords that are not necessarily relevant to your services, then that's what I'm saying about gathering data and then telling Google that that's the wrong keyword to rank us for. And by adding negative keywords to your campaign and then telling Google these are not the keywords we want to be ranking for, as the campaign goes on and Google's kind of AI learns these are the keywords that you're putting as negative keywords, then it's going to show you less and less for those types of keywords, and it's going to show you more and more for the keywords that you do actually want to get found for. Something else with Google Ads, you want to be making sure that you've added as many extensions as possible to your campaign. So on top of your ads, like you can create your ads and then you can create your landing pages, but there's extensions that can be added to your ads, and there's all sorts of different extensions. Like call buttons and things like that. There's like extensions that relate to your products and services. All of that, again, it's one of those things that I have to kind of show you, but you're going to want to be making sure that you filled out as much of those as possible, because the thing with Google Ads as well, it's not just getting to the top here, but it's also getting as many different extensions to come up as well at the top and take up the most amount of room on the Google Ads. So if we go to the top here, you can see like flooring shop, Stockport, closed, opens at, blah blah blah. These are all extensions that Google's added because Tappy have added those into their Google Ads campaign. Again, you can see here up to £300 off carpets and flooring. So they've added an offer as one of their extensions, an autumn sale. And you just want to be making sure that you've got all of these extensions filled out, and you want to be making sure that your ads are good enough to get shown at the top, and then also the extensions are getting shown. So the best performing ads are going to be at the very top here. They're going to have the lowest they're going to have the lowest cost per click, so they're going to be paying the least amount for someone clicking on their ads. They're going to be getting the most extensions shown, and they're going to be making the most money out of Google Ads, providing that these landing pages actually convert. Conversion tracking. So that is also another very important part of Google Ads. If you're not tracking conversions, you're basically not telling Google what leads are actually good quality leads. So Google is going to see what keywords you've been picked up for. It's going to see what keywords have actually converted, and then again, if you're going in there and you're saying that's a negative keyword, don't include that, but you're not doing it to the keywords that you've got conversions on, then Google's going to see that those keywords there that are converting are going to be the keywords that are making you the most money. And again, over a long period of time, over 6 months, 12 months, Google's going to start seeing that, if every time it shows you for this particular keyword, it results in a conversion. So when you do go from switching your account from trying to maximize clicks to actually maximize conversions, Google's going to be showing you for the keywords that are actually going to make you the most money. And then it's going to be spending your ad spend in the most efficient way possible, instead of just spending it just to try and get as many clicks as possible, get as many conversions as possible. It's going to be spending your ad spend to try and show you for the keywords that it knows are going to make you the most money. So it takes a long time, but again, that's just something that's very important, is setting up conversions. And then lastly, low and high budgets. So like I was saying, like a low budget, you are very restricted, and it's going to take longer to collect all of this data and to try and optimize your profile. Whereas the higher budgets, let's say you had, £50 a day, whatever it is, it's going to give you more options. It's going to be you're going to be able to gather data quicker. You're going to be able to, find more negative keywords. You're going to be able to get more conversions to show Google what ones actually convert. You're going to be able to create more campaigns, and you're going to have more pages that are more targeted for more keywords, and just generally with higher budgets, just obviously, if you're running the right strategy, you're going to get the most amount back from it. Whereas a low budget, it's a very slow burner. It's going to take a lot longer to get all of this data. It's going to take a lot longer to build up enough conversions, and it will tick over once you've optimized it, but it takes a long time. So just things that you should bear in mind with Google Ads, really. So anyway, that is the end of this call. Obviously, as usual, if you have any questions or anything like that, then you can shoot them over in an email and I can cover them in the next call. But obviously, until then, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.